Welcome back, DigiDs. That's right, to another episode of Kerbal Space Program 2, where today we're going to be taking a look at trying to build ourselves a little bit of a submarine and or boat. And I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. I thought I'd just throw a little bit of a capsule in the water to see if it would float, and apparently it has self-propulsion. Go ahead and see if we can get this out of the water. Yes, there we go. So welcome back, DigiDs. We are going to be trying to build ourselves a little bit of a submarine. We mentioned it in the last episode a little bit, how we were thinking as we were flying over, like, hey, we have an entire boat launcher. Why don't we try to do something with it? And with that being said, I say let's go ahead and jump right on into it. Is this going to blow up when it hits the water? Come on, come on. Yeah. All right, back to the fab. What a way to start. I have no idea what's going on with the physics in this game, but that looks like it's already off to a wonderful start, which means that everything is going to work perfectly.
You say something so controversial yet so brave.
Obviously. So let's go ahead and take a look at exactly what we are doing. Now, how do we want to start a submarine? That is the question. Do we want to start with this tiny little capsule? You know, I think we do. But I had a little bit of an idea, a little bit of a plan. I think a submarine in itself can be a little bit, well, I think it might be a little bit easier than we're thinking. So right off the bat, why don't we just throw on a giant nose cone, which can rotate in one of 4 directions of 8 directions of 16 possibilities, of which I cannot find any of them. There we go. one of the rotations gets it going. But I had an idea. So a lot of these parts float pretty well in the water in general. Now, in order to get something that's actually going to be able to operate and work properly in the water, we're going to need propulsion. I don't know if we will need wings, but I think wings would be important, so that way we can kind of rotate exactly where the propulsion is going. And we also need, that's right, missile silos. What kind of submarine would it be without missile silos? Can you imagine one submarine at any time in history that didn't have a missile silo, besides all the ones that didn't? That's right, you can't. Stop thinking, I've already solved it for you. So, how are we going to build missile silos? Honestly, not entirely sure, but I think we can maybe use something similar to the last cargo bays that we used on the plane, right? We have these little cargo hatches that can just kind of open and close on their own, kind of like they're just kind of talking to you, like a big whale almost. Now, with that in mind, what if we were able to, per se, maybe attach a few of these all together in a row, like so? Now, I was going to say like so, I did say like so, but they do not appear to be attaching sideways like I would like them to. Can we do anything about that? And I bet that we can. If we go ahead and take a look at the structures, I think this entire thing is going to be a little bit, well, it's probably going to be very jank to begin with. I mean, let's be honest here, this whole thing is going to be a little wild. That engine? Nope, okay, we need to switch these. There we go. That decoupler, that engine. This decoupler, that engine. Very nice. These engines go first, get rid of this top staging, and honestly, that should be all that we need. Will this be enough to propulse our rocket submarine through the water? I don't know. Why don't we give it a test? Let's see where this goes. I have no idea how this is going to work. If it's going to work, can it work? It did not. Where are we going? Okay, hang on. Revert to revert to launch. Hang on a second. Where is our submarine going? I looked away for half a second to actually take a screenshot of that. Oh god. So it is immediately tearing itself apart the second we get into the water. Oh wow, look at that spin. It's going. That spin is going crazy. You can see it down here. Is it gonna blow up the second it touches the water? Or the second it touches the bait? Oh, it is slowly veering away from it. It's starting to go crazy. Okay, so everything goes a little wild immediately. Is there some way, I feel like it's maybe because of the SAS. Can I deactivate it as soon as possible to make sure it doesn't all tear itself apart? I just wonder what it is that's blowing it up, right? Because something is making this go absolutely haywire the second it touches the water. So turn off SAS. It spins around. I think it hits the bottom. Can we switch vessels at all? No, but we can. Oh god. I was gonna say we can detach and launch the rocket, but that did not work. Okay, we need to completely redesign this in a new concept. We have to do this with a new idea in mind. 1, 2, 3, 4 missile silos. Thanks, Count. Back from the old Sesame Sesame Street days of Count Chocula going into counting things for you. Oh boy, so how is this going to work? Do we even need propulsion? It all seems to kind of wiggle itself through the water on its own. So first, let's see if this thing even works. Does it immediately blow up? Well, in a sense, but not quite what I was thinking. We need to put it in the water, not on the landing pad. You silly submarine. I was about to say rocket. Having to change all the lingo is completely odd to me. We will get this to work in some form at least once here today, Digidees. If this doesn't work, I have an entirely different idea in mind of how to maybe get this to work.
Stop it. Get some help.
So let's put it into the boat launch. I feel like maybe it's an issue where they're colliding. No, they shouldn't be colliding. Oh, they look like they're all barely separated from each section. And they all do have a rather flat edge. So maybe it needs something a little bit flatter on the bottom is the issue. Can we take like a, let's say, I don't know, an extra large? I mean, hey, that's honestly not too bad. I can just you know what, Digidees? You know what? I only need one. This might honestly work. So I'm gonna go ahead and attach that there, but we can go ahead and probably, can I attach it to the bottom somewhere? It's attached to the bottom and it is somewhere, so we can just go ahead and take this whole thing, just rotate it around like so, drop it down a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it goes into the other trusses a little bit, but that should be fine. Drag it forward, and it looks like that is the best that we can do. Why not? Let's give it a launch. Let's see what kind of ridiculous idea we can come up with next. Okay. You know, that's good news, though. That's good news. We did immediately start sinking down to the bottom, but that is kind of good news, because it means that it's not immediately vibrating itself to death. And that is progress. Although the top side does still, of course, become a little bit heavy. So what if we try it without that truss system? Let's go ahead and do the boat launch again. Hold SAS. Nope, I can't quite hold it steady. Yeah, I still might be able to. Oh no, I'm spinning. Why am I spinning? Stop spinning. You know, maybe we can correct ourselves once we're at the bottom. There we go. Is it gonna correct itself? No. Let's go back and redesign this a little bit. I feel like we are on the right path. So instead of having missile silos and these big types of systems going on, let's get rid of all this. Take this off. Put on a regular decoupler. Where are they? These are instructions. Go to regular coupling. A small decoupler like so. Detach from here. Throw that on. Now we're talking. Now we have a proper little type of rocket. We might need a little bit of an SAS. I know I'm not a big fan of them because they do seem to just kind of screw around with everything, but let's go ahead and do that. Why don't we throw on some wings, keep it a little bit steady. I almost feel like it does actually need wings to hold itself steady properly. Not exactly sure why they always seem to go backwards. And now that they're properly facing forwards, they want to phase into one another. All right, fine. Oh, now it's going the right direction. Nice, there we go. A little bit upsided. Bring it a little bit more horizontal, like so, and should be golden. Go ahead and throw down this decoupler and engine at the same time. Let's see if it works. Let's see if something this small can work. Technically speaking, very excessive, but every time you launch a missile, one will also launch downwards. But this will keep the weight completely even in the middle. I know this is far from what we started with. Okay, go ahead and turn. Turn. No, not quite. Okay, we're still a little bit lopsided, but one of these have to go up. One of these will have to go up. So, these need a drone core on them. The capsule's gonna need one. Go ahead and put one right on the center. And it does seem like it's still having a little bit of issues staying upright, so why don't we do something even bigger? Like, if it's not going to vibrate itself to death, why don't we just throw on something a little bit bigger, like so, to make sure it actually 100% stays stable. Put on a stabilizers, yeah, throw on Do we need control surfaces or stabilizers? Not entirely certain. Go ahead and put on symmetry mode. No, put on 2 mode. No, no, there we go. And these little wings are just gonna have to work. A little bit close on there, so why don't we put on another truss system just to make sure to get a little bit of distance away from the SAS module. I know DigiDees, this is very far from our original design, but we were gonna have to get close somehow to exactly what we're thinking of. It's about the closest I can think of. Okay, we can control a little bit better now. Not quite. Come on, rotate for me. That's it. Launch. It did not work. It did not work. It did not work. It's going somewhere. Yeah, it's some version of a submarine. Okay, revert to VAB. I think we need to do something entirely different, DigiDees. We are going to go on to our last design, and I hope that we can do something actually spectacular here and get at least one design working for us. If we can get at least one design working for us, then I will be a happy camper. I'm gonna take this. Now we're gonna have to move it up. Translate it to the center. Turn it around, like so. Keep it a little bit flush with the trusses so we keep most of the weight topside. And now just go ahead and move it off to the side, or move it into the center. And there we go. That is our submarine. Are you liking the submarine? This is something. It's something, all right. We don't want it to be too top heavy. I mean, if anything, we actually do want a lot of the weight on the bottom, so that way it doesn't tip over so easily. But I don't know if there's necessarily be a good way around that. So let's just keep it simple. Let's just keep it real simple. Go ahead and throw on. No. Let's keep it a little bit simpler than that. Where is the swivel engine? This it is. There it is. Oh God. It builds a little bit of a little, what do you call it? Like trust, or not trust. It builds a little bit of a fairing around it for you. So that is the engine. We just need a little bit of a small fuel tank. We need a probe core. Probe core is where? Command. So for some reason, it seems like if you minimize the other things on the other channels or other parts, it also minimizes it in the other sections. So hopefully they'll fix that in the future. Throw in a small little probe core. You know, let's even do a little bit better. Keep it the same size. That is not the same size. Are none of these the same size? There we go. A small one. Yeah, that'll work. Throw on the little antenna here. Throw on an antenna on the truss system, because this should technically work by just being on there in general. And then throw on the little nose cone. Where are our nose cones? Aerodynamics. Okay. That is just going to have to be our submarine missile launcher. Will this work? Put it down to launch. In the boat launch, please, for the love of God, just stay upright at least. No, it just wants to tip over immediately. I'm not too sure why it wants to do that. Like, I understand that the weight is on the bottom. Why are you spinning so much? All right, let's get it pointed up. Get it pointed up.
If you do not give me an upbeat, I will piss all over your feet.
Up. Why are you spitting? Okay. I see how we're gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to do the exact same thing that we did before. I think we're just gonna have to put more weight on the bottom than there is on top. And there's a way to do that. And by doing that, I mean simply attaching in a giant fuel tank on the bottom. Like so. Right? It's gonna be hard to say that anything else weighs more than this. Get it centered. Good enough. There. Now more weight is on the bottom than it is on the top. And we could probably even... You know what? Hang on a second. 1 second, DigiDees. I just remembered, we have tubes, don't we? We go to structures, we have tubes. Right? Tube. So what can tube do? What does the tube do? The tube does not do a whole lot. Okay, so back to the fuel tanks. Get the extra large fuel tanks and attach it onto the side. You know, we don't even need to go necessarily off to underneath it, right? We just need to get these on the side, almost like big buoys. This should be able to keep it actually pretty stable, just like so. And we don't even necessarily need anything in them. We could just take down a little bit of the fuel and weight Why? It keeps on going back to 0. Okay, fine. We'll do like 10. Seems like it kind of magnetizes to each other. Like so. There we go. I do like that it does magnetize then to one another sliders. That keeps it more even. Now that should be good enough. And I just thought of it. They don't have to be... Okay, hang on. Right back to what we were doing. Right back. Because, Digites, this could be our propulsion then, right? This is our propulsion. We don't need really anything else. We just throw these on. And this should be able to put us through the water perfectly fine. We can throw those onto the same ones. But we don't need to test that immediately. Because what we want to test immediately is the missile system. Is it going to work? Is this thing going to stay afloat long enough? We're on the launch pad. God damn it. It's okay. Almost an hour in, and we are finally eventually going to get something to work here. Believe in me, Digites. I'm trying the hardest that I can. So hey, if you've been liking the content, if you've been hating the content, if you think nothing about the content, then leave a comment down below, like the video, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, but most importantly, leave a comment down below on the type of stuff that you want to see next, on the dumb builds that I'm trying to get to work for you guys next. That's right, because this is just gonna have to be it. Otherwise, come on. Why? Why
not, you stupid bastard?
So immediately putting on a couple of fuel tanks is what makes it spin out of control. Just go ahead and try this again and immediately take off of SAS, because I'm not exactly sure on why it would be doing this, right? So all it is just a little bit of extra weight, but for some reason it makes it spin out of control immediately. Take off SAS, nope, and disembodies itself, blows up. Okay. All right. Fine. I see how it's gonna be. I see how it's gonna be for the last time. I think, Digites, we may not get an operational submarine, but what we can do is maybe just build a platform of which that this can at least build and like be launched off of, right? Oh, what happened? I'm trying to copy it, and it is not copied properly. That is some weird Jenga, like jungle gym BS that is going on. So what if we just go ahead and launch immediately? Can I just copy this down to the bottom side to keep it all like on the same, you know, like weight? Turn this around. Can I just attach it right here? Pretty please? No? All right. It's not going to let us attach it. It's not going to let us go ahead and put it anywhere. Come on. Get around this edge. Get on to the other edge. Yes, like so. And now we can go ahead and translate it down to the other side like we did with the last one, but under it. Bring it down, rotate it over, off to the side, and let's keep it even lower down just like that. That should keep it upright, because it has equal weight on the bottom as it does on the top. A little bit off to the side here because of this command pod, but it should be fine. And boat launch, go. No, not quite, but I'm gonna go ahead and just launch, and none of it is working. None of it is working. Oh boy. Okay, I have an idea then. Maybe not really. Revert to VAB. We have to get this to work somehow. For some reason, there is something that is just making the rockets or the submarines just kind of spin themselves to death, and I'm not exactly sure what is causing that. Can we build something even simpler? How can we go simpler? How do we go even simpler? So, small cockpit. We need to do it sideways. Small cockpit. Okay, come on. Horizontal workstation. Cockpit. Okay, fine. It's not gonna do it. Horizontal station. We don't need a pod. We need a regular cockpit, since it doesn't seem to like the cockpits or the pods. Something that's a little aerodynamic, I suppose, for quote-unquote water. And now, keep it even a little bit simpler. We can go ahead and put on... What do we need? Is there smaller cargo bays that can go ahead and fit this size? Yes, there is. Just like so. Cargo bay open. There we go. Yeah, that's working pretty well. Pretty easy. I mean, essentially what we want to do is kind of like make a plane, but like underwater. If that makes sense. I mean, it is just a plane in a weird sense, but go ahead and open up the cargo bay and try to see what we can build here. Probably not a whole lot. We can take a look at our payloads again. We have nothing else that fits that size. We do have smaller section that can double up on itself. That's kind of weird. How are we gonna fit a rocket in here? What if we just never, what if we just never close it? We just do the cargo bay simply for stability and like control. Can I attach stuff to this cargo bay? Couplings, decoupler, no I cannot. So we're gonna go ahead and put on a single decoupler, put it on the inside, like so. Get its original vanilla position to look like this in its vertical format, so we can build the rocket out here. And let's just do the exact same design that what we've been doing. We're gonna go ahead and take a full solid rocket motor booster. And it, for some reason, does not want to attach to it in the orientation that I would like it to. If for some reason it is upside down, so we're just gonna go ahead and take this, rotate it the other way then. Like so. Nice, nice. We're getting there, we're getting there. GG, I'm not gonna end this episode until we get at least one thing working properly. I don't care if this ends up being a 2-hour episode. I do care, but hopefully this doesn't end up being a 2-hour episode, as I will get something to work for you guys at least once. I'm not gonna be able to end the video, take an hour-long recording, and not have something fly. We haven't even gotten out of the water. We launched the rockets once, and they just stayed inside the water. Last I checked, that doesn't work very well. So throw in a couple of communication systems. That is gonna have to be good enough, I suppose. We have weight in the front, we have weight in the back. We have a decoupler and a rocket. Will this work? Not the runway. Go ahead and do a boat launch and launch. Will this work? Maybe they don't even have to be inside the cargo bay. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Okay, turn off SAS. Okay, it is... What makes you spin? What makes you spin? DGDs, I think it might actually just be impossible to build anything in the water right now in KSP. The physics for water are too broken. They're a little bit too broken. And I think that's simply it. Come on, I'm gonna have to wait for a good moment to launch it. Just wait until it's somewhat straight up, like that. And switch vessels. I think it already blew up in the water. It did already. It blows up immediately in the water, so you can't launch while you're underwater. All right, so we want a submarine, huh? Okay. And I was thinking, let's go simple. Well, DigiDs, I think we had the design first. I think we had the design correctly in the very first 2 seconds of this video. That's right, almost an entire hour ago. Do you remember how we started this video? Do you remember how we started it? Damn it, not the launch pad. It does not keep your launch position. Go ahead and revert back again. Half the footage being looking at this loading screen. Oh boy. So, DigiDs, I know to those of you who have made it this far in the video, I think after this, I want to start working on a KSP 1 series. KSP 2, as fun as it can be, well, I mean, just look at this. I mean, I am doing nothing. I am pressing nothing. It is, this is how KSP 2 operates at the moment. This is KSP 2's state. I am pressing nothing. My hands are off the keyboard. And this is where it goes. Oh, come on. We can't even get the original, like, okay. We're gonna have to do this one last time. Last revert. You already know exactly what I'm about to do. We gotta keep it sideways to go into the water to build our submarine properly. So this thing right here, boom, submarine. You know what, let's even go ahead and flip it around so we get facing the right direction. There, boom. You want a submarine? That's our submarine. Launch it. Just like so. And look at that. Self-propulsion. It's sort of self-propulsion. All with an SAS module. This is our submarine. We did not make a missile launcher, unfortunately, DigiDs. I know, quite not exactly what we were going for, but this is our submarine. Look at how operational this thing is. It can go underwater. It can wiggle underwater. And if you give it a good spin, watch this. It goes up. It can also become a plane. Jump the dock. Jump the dock. Back into the water. Oh, and lives. I have expected it to blow up as soon as it hit back into the water. Oh, never mind. Well, DigiDs, that was quite honestly probably, and I'll admit, one of the more disappointing episodes that we have honestly ever had. I don't know how to express anything that has happened in this episode. It has been a real wonder that honestly, I'm surprised at how well nothing worked. I'm surprised by how well nothing worked at all. You know, like, I'm just gonna casually build here in the background while I do a little bit of an outro. I'm surprised by how nothing worked at all. I mean, all of these systems are for some reason just spiraling out of control. Even something like this, it doesn't magnetize or clip onto the very center. You know, everything was blowing itself up immediately the second it touched the water. With SAS even turned off and stabilizers turned off, it would float around very sporadically. The truss systems at some point, it seemed like some of them allowed you to attach onto the sides, some of them don't allow you to attach onto the sides, only at the front and back of it, which seems a little odd for, you know, what is supposed to be a structure that you just build something off of. Doesn't seem exactly very efficient, but KSP 2 at its moment, as much as I love Kerbal, as much as I love the space programs, as much as I love all this stuff, I believe that these games, or this is just a little bit too broken at the moment for anything to honestly just work properly. You know, as much as I'm trying to have lots of cool designs and different types of structures with it, nothing really it just doesn't work. It simply just doesn't work. You know, even right now, I activate my engine, not a whole lot going on, have no control over, just spinning around, at least. There you go, DigiDs. There's our submarine. There's our missile launcher. You like it? There it goes. So thank you, DigiDs, for watching the video. If you made it this far, leave a comment down below on how disappointed you are or how fun it was. How much of a great first look experience into this, not a first look, but an experience that this game has been. If you've been thinking about buying KSP 2, I would hate to say it, but do not buy KSP 2 yet. Just don't buy it right now. Honestly, you give it 6 months, 9 months, give it like a year, probably. Honestly, the way how broken everything is, you know, we've seen where we copy parts and it does not copy in the same orientation. You will copy parts and only do one part instead of two, then it flips all the parts around. We've had it where the entire wings in the last episode would just completely fall off of, you know, and fall off of the entire vehicle in general for no particular reason. You can't attach to anything other than wings. You know, there's a lot of issues with the part manager where it seems even if you're not right clicking on it, I'll right click somewhere random and, you know, you just end up opening up the parts manager. You know, there's some frame issues. It's been having problems operating a lot of different games and operating systems. You know, it is a beautiful game. It is a great game. It helps really expand the mind of science and wonder and what could be out there. But in terms of games as it is, if you want to play Kerbal, if you haven't played KSP 1 and you're thinking about buying KSP 2, you'd be better off at this point just buying KSP 1, waiting a year or two, and then getting KSP 2, because this game has so much potential, so much greatness. It has the ability to have multiplayer. We're going to be building bases on other moons and planets. We're going to be having a lot more parts and atom drives and everything that you can think under the sun. Almost everything from KSP 1 will also be introduced in KSP 2. It is a fantastic and great idea of what it can and will be. But at the moment, it is not that. Do not buy KSP 2. Give it a year, and I think it'll be fully operational at that time. So as much as I would love to make more videos on this, I might make another video with like a rover. I think maybe we can play with the rovers a little bit, would be kind of fun. But in terms of if we go into space travel, if we go into even submarines, again, even like boats, I think we're gonna have to take a look at KSP 1. So hey, DigiDs, keep an eye out for a KSP 1 series, because I do not want to give up on space games. It is a popular game. It is a popular series, and I want to keep on doing more space stuff. So hey, keep an eye out for KSP 1 series, and thank you, DigiDs. I'm still not really sure how to do these outros. I've already rambled on for about 15 minutes longer than I intended to. So yeah, thank you, DigiDs, for watching the videos, and I can guarantee I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you, and bye-bye.